It's one thing if you find out that they are talking to somebody really good to replace you, right? I'll give you an example. If my contract were up and I found out that Fox Sports was talking to Kirk Herbstreit and Bob Costas, and they were like, hey, we want you guys to co-host the new Fox Sports Radio morning show in the event that Clay's not back. I'd be like, okay. Like, they're, looking and covering their bases, and those guys are incredibly accomplished in the world of sports, and they might have a really good radio show. Now, they would cost a lot more money than I cost, but I'd be like, okay, those dudes are really accomplished. If I found out that, well, I'm going to just throw somebody under the bus right now, so I'll not tell you names. But if I found out that they were talking to like low-end, not very talented dudes in our business, and they were like, we want you to potentially replace Clay, I'd be like, yeah, that's not so good, right? It's kind of an insult to me. Similarly, if you found out that your wife suddenly was leaving you for Brad Pitt or Denzel Washington, you might be upset, but you'd be like, well, at least it's Brad Pitt and Denzel Washington. If you found out that she was leaving you for the garbage man, you might be like, no offense to garbage men out there, but come on, I'm not better than the average garbage man you just met? If I'm Jimmy Garoppolo and I find out that the San Francisco 49ers are shopping, talking secretly to Russell Wilson, probably wouldn't happen because it's in the same division. But if I found out that they were secretly talking with the Houston Texans about Deshaun Watson, I wouldn't be happy, but I would be like, okay, they're trying to do whatever it takes to make the team better, even if they were talking to Drew Brees. But when I find out that there are reports that the 49ers talked to the Carolina Panthers about replacing me with Teddy Bridgewater, I'm like, this relationship is over. Because if you think that Teddy Bridgewater is a functionally equivalent or better quarterback than me, then our relationship is over. And that's no slight on Teddy Bridgewater, but he is, at best, a 20 to 25 quarterback in the NFL. A guy that is good enough to hold the job, not a guy that you build a franchise around. And if I am Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm saying, hey, I was one pass away from winning the Super Bowl. This team has not been able to win with anybody other than me. If you are going to replace me and you are choosing to replace me with Teddy Bridgewater, you're basically saying you'll replace me with anybody. I'll give you another good analogy here. Do you remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver were married? And then it came out that Arnold Schwarzenegger had a baby with the maid that was working at his house. Do you remember that story? There was just a random maid that was working at his house. Schwarzenegger slept with her, and then she got pregnant, and they had a baby. Maria Shriver divorced Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's no telling how much that ended up costing him. One of the reasons I really believe that happened was Maria Shriver was like, oh no, if he is sleeping with a random maid that is cleaning our house, he is sleeping with every woman on the planet. There's no way that he randomly suddenly became unfaithful for the very first time with a maid who was cleaning our house. This is a sign that this relationship is 100% broken. And if I'm Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm like, this means the 49ers are done with me. They will go with any quarterback other than me. And I don't know if he's going to say it publicly, but we got Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson. We already saw it with Matthew Stafford. Alex Smith's not happy. I guarantee you, if that story is true, Jimmy G's agent is going to know. And if I'm Jimmy G's agent, I'm saying I want out of here. Trade me back to New England. Send me to the Bears. If you are interested in Teddy Bridgewater replacing me, you aren't just looking for a Russell Wilson or a Deshaun Watson or maybe a Drew Brees, guys who have either early in the case of Deshaun Watson or definite in the case of Russell Wilson and Drew Brees, Hall of Fame quarterback careers. You're willing to replace me with a journeyman that the Carolina Panthers themselves aren't even committed to. We can't have this relationship anymore. It's time for me to go. The 49ers need to figure out who the new future of their franchise is. I was one pass away from winning a Super Bowl. Yes, I've had injury issues, but your lack of commitment to me, I'm done here. Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers have to find a new franchise quarterback. That's what that story says to me about the reports of Teddy Bridgewater potentially going in to San Francisco. And by the way, I don't blame the 49ers for looking, but Teddy Bridgewater is a sign that you are done with Jimmy Garoppolo. This is a broken relationship.